Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we are watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Not much, Ben. Happy to be back with you and talk Superman.
Superman's our only topic of the day. We have other things to do, so we're not going to talk about any of the other things we've consumed. Just Superman. I saw this just mere hours ago. I'm still processing my thoughts, so it'll be like live.
Mm-hmm. I saw it 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I'm still processing it.
Okay, cool. Let's start with a roll. Even though it doesn't matter who goes first, we still got to keep track of those numbers.
Gotta get those numbers. 15. All right, finally. I've been pretty low recently. That's an 8.
All right.
Hey, man, you picked green.
I know. Whatever. It's all on me. All right, it's weird. I don't have any news, no trailers, no nothing to start off on. Just straight into James Gunn's Superman.
I mean, I could talk about some food things.
Oh, okay.
I had Raisin Canes for the first time today.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't sure what I was doing when I got there. I assumed that there was like a whole menu of options. There's like 4 items.
4 things.
It's like you can get the 3-piece combo, the 6-piece combo, the fancy combo, or the sandwich combo.
Yeah.
But it's also just made of chicken wings or chicken fingers. And I was like, oh, why is this popular?
Until you tried the sauce.
And yeah, so my wife and I were like, well, let's just go to Burger King. But since we're here, we've never had it. Let's just get a 3-piece and split that. I was like, okay, cool. So we got the 3-piece with the Raisin Cane sauce. And I had it and I went, you know what? This is pretty good. It's not bad. Like chicken fingers, I think, are one of the most overrated food of all time.
And
like, I don't
so plain.
get the appeal. That being said, I don't know if this is everyone's experience with Raisin Canes. I thought the chicken was nice and juicy. The breading wasn't too like sometimes you get chicken fingers and it just feels like dry. It's all bread and dry and stuff. I didn't experience that. The cane sauce had a nice flavor to it, a little bit of spice there. So I wouldn't pay the amount of money consistently for Raisin Canes because it just seems ridiculous. But that being said, in terms of chicken fingers, probably the best I've ever had.
You know, I would never eat those chicken fingers with any other sauce because the best way I've heard it described is Raisin Cane's chicken is fried water. It's so juicy. It's just goo. It's just liquid. You can't rip them in half because they're kind of rubbery and just filled with water. They're not bad tasting. They're just kind of plain and boring without that sauce. I think their fries suck. All crinkle cut fries suck. There hasn't been a good one in existence. But their toast is really good. It's just a buttery toast. Like fuck coleslaw. Who eats coleslaw? That shit's nasty. We're both white here, but we don't eat coleslaw. I'm assuming you don't eat coleslaw. I'm
not a big fan of coleslaw.
Okay,
although
cool.
One time in New Orleans, I did have. It wasn't Memphis. It doesn't matter. It was someplace. I had barbecue at this one place. They had this orange coleslaw. I don't know what sauce they mixed it with, but man, that shit was good.
I've had some coleslaw on a chicken sandwich, but putting a fork into mayonnaise cabbage is not appealing to me.
Yeah, coleslaw on sandwiches I can do, but yeah, pure just straight up slurping down coleslaw is not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah.
So I love their sauce, and it's really good, and that's really the only reason you eat there. But they're limiting themselves. You've gotten this far on one sauce. It's time to expand, and I think they need to do something a little crazy. Instead of toast, let's do a waffle, and then have some sort of syrup-based sauce, so you could have a chicken and waffle sort of thing, or a lemon pepper sauce. I don't want a ranch. I don't want a Korean barbecue or anything because their cane sauce is so unique. I want something a little more unique as well. You have any ideas for a sauce for Raisin Canes?
I mean, I feel like you're just not gonna reinvent the wheel in terms of sauces. They could get any of the standard sauces of, barbecue, honey barbecue,
honey mustard,
Carolina Reaper. You can go through all the classics.
I don't want any of that shit.
But yeah, let me get with the R&D department and see what we can come up with. But it's just it being my first time there and like hearing so much about Raising Cane's and just like, oh man, you got to try it. Just like I can't believe you've launched an entire franchise
Yeah.
that is just like essentially 4 items,
Yeah.
which good for you, but
Keeps your inventory down, that's for sure.
yeah, and it's all stuff that you make within in like 3 minutes or less, I imagine.
If you go there on a busy day,
I
you could
understand
be
it's
waiting.
busy, and
It's always packed at
we didn't
ours.
go at a busy time, and we
And that's
still waited
good.
like 10 minutes to get our food. We
Yeah.
went through the drive-through,
Okay.
um, and it's not like we waited like that long, but it's one of those things like, how isn't it they're just like they should be tossing these bags of food like out the
Uh-huh.
window? But I don't know their process and the
Yeah. It
kids
may,
who work there or whatever. I don't know. I'm not shitting on anyone's job, but it just seemed like one of those things like this should be the one fast food franchise that is the fastest.
Yeah.
But
we're just constantly making and I'm sure they have a thing of we don't have too much of a back stock of pre-cooked chicken. It's not made to order, and like maybe we got 4 orders worth ready, and then we're dropping the other ones because we know those are going to go fast. And if a bunch of people order larger meals, crap, we ran out of it. We got to wait for this shit to fry up. But you think that would be like a better what's the assembly line?
yeah, I figured it's like, yeah, one person working fries, one person working drinks or whatever, 2 people working chicken, and that's
a
it. Because you're not
toast
like
guy,
putting stuff on top of the chicken or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah. But would you go back?
Yeah, but more of like my wife and I are like on vacation or something. We're driving down the road. We're like, oh, we need to stop and get something. And it's like, oh, I'm not really feeling Burger King or McDonald's. Like, there's Raising Cane's. We haven't eaten that in a year and a half.
Mhm.
Like, I would do that. But if it's just like, if Raising Cane's was in our neighborhood, I'm like, what should we get? It's like, I'm not really feeling Raising Cane's. Because like, it's not like they're cheap either.
It's for the very particular man-child crowd, the people who never grew up past chicken fingers and mac and cheese
Yeah.
and French fries.
It's elevated kids food.
Exactly. All right. Anything else before we get to the main topic?
I think there was another food thing I tried that I was like, so I don't remember. You're not a peanut butter jelly guy, right?
No, I love peanut butter and jelly.
Fantastic. So
I just don't eat them. Being a diabetic, it's like carbs and sugar.
Fair enough. But you're aware of Uncrustables.
Yes.
Okay.
I've never had an Uncrustable though.
Yeah. So there are people who like love Uncrustables, and I've only ever seen the strawberry or the grape. I've had them both. They're both fine, but they're peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and I think for me, the biggest appeal is it's not messy and they're already made for me, so I don't have to make them.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy making my own peanut butter jelly sandwiches because I can control the ratios. They're bigger than the Uncrustables. They're not, they're around $5 at the store I work at, where for $5 I can get an entire loaf of bread and a thing of jelly. Sorry, I'm running. I'm out of shape.
Flight of stairs. My only weakness.
So anyway, like I never got all the hype, and maybe the Uncrustables just came. Like if I was 6 years old when Uncrustables came out and they were just in my fridge all the time, be like, yeah, Uncrustables are great, but they've never really been my thing. But somebody was just like, oh, they have a honey and a hazelnut one now, and I was like, I don't care about Uncrustables, but I'll buy them.
Like honey and peanut butter and hazelnut and peanut butter? Like it takes place of the jelly?
So it's honey and peanut butter, and I believe it's just hazelnut. Oh, is the other one.
Oh, okay.
So I had both of them. Hazelnut, I like hazelnut, kind of like a Nutella spread. It's fine. I think what I like about the Uncrustables is the 2 flavor combo and like feeling like a sandwich. This just felt like you just spread hazelnut on a piece of bread. It didn't do anything for me. Not bad, but I would never buy it again. Someone told me that they bought the honey ones, and they were like, I didn't really care for it. But I like honey. So I tried those. I really like them.
Okay.
So because I never think to make a honey and peanut butter sandwich.
Never? Really? Oh, I did that as a kid. It was peanut butter, banana, and honey. It was my go-to.
See, like I've had peanut butter fluff. I've had, banana and peanut butter. I've had all the combos, but I never thought, I'll just make myself a honey and peanut butter sandwich. But I really, really liked it. I would buy those again, considering it's like, I probably should just buy the honey and make my own.
Sure.
Maybe I will. But if you've never had it, I recommend it. So just give it a shot. I actually have some here if you want to try one.
I don't know. Since I've never had an Uncrustable, I kind of like having that title. It's one of the... I have a list in my phone of things for never have I ever.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. And I think that's a good one to pull out because so many other people have had it.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are pushing 40.
Pushing past.
I was giving you a couple years, but anywho, so it's not like designed for us.
Sure.
But it was just kind of a nice, like, oh, there's like a childhood thing I can enjoy. So it's not something I would buy all the time, but
To throw a snack to your kid, maybe?
yeah. I get their appeal for parents. I just make my kid peanut butter jellies all the time. But I've learned that a nice honey peanut butter sandwich is pretty tasty. So shout out to the honeys out there.
Okay, couple questions. Crunchy or smooth?
Smooth all day.
Absolutely.
I don't want crunchy anything.
Absolutely.
And, like, I had this conversation with coworkers yesterday, actually, because someone asked me the same question when I brought up Uncrustables. And I said, like, when it comes to ice cream, I want smooth ice cream. I don't want chunks. With the exception of, like, I'll take some fruit ice creams. Like, if it's like cherry vanilla and there's actual cherries in there, great, I'll take that. But if you're pitching me like double chocolate fudge ice cream and there's like, oh, but it's got chunks of chocolate or cookies and cream with it's got Oreo bits in it. I don't want any of that.
See,
shit.
I'm okay. In my ice cream, I'm fine with that.
I don't want sprinkles. I don't want crunch. I want that shit to melt and slide down my gullet so easy. Yeah, crunchy peanut butter, I don't get the appeal.
Okay. Grape or strawberry?
I think I like the flavor of strawberry more, but I think grape is the more consistent flavor. Like, you probably never get tired of grape. You might get tired of strawberry, but I think strawberry is the better flavor. It's kind of like Code Red versus regular. It's like, I'll drink a million regulars, but then you have a Code Red and you're like, damn, this Red's kind of like the fucking shit.
I could get it. And grape is kind of the classic.
Yeah,
but
you can't go wrong with grape, but I'm leaning strawberry.
I'm a strawberry. Especially, like, strawberry looks good when you spread it.
Oh, yeah.
Grape jelly looks kind of nasty.
Yeah, it looks like sludge.
Yeah. And then there was like an Instagram post of like 2025's fair food, like new food from fairs and carnivals and stuff like that. And one of them was the Uncrustable burger, and it was 2 fried Uncrustables as your buns.
I love it.
It was crazy disgusting looking. They had a bunch of other ones that were like...
I imagine it would look nasty.
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah. My peanut butter and jelly is bread, jelly, another piece of bread, peanut butter. Put that down. You're done, right? No. You put peanut butter on top of that one, and on another slice of bread, jelly on that. So it's a triple decker, 3 slices of bread with peanut butter and jelly in both of them. Because I think one peanut butter and jelly sandwich is kind of like you're blue balling yourself. It's not enough.
I always make myself 2
But I think 2 is too much. So I think the double decker is a perfect in between. But I don't eat them anymore. But when I did, that's what I did.
I see what you're saying. I feel like... And I know it's not, because if I made 2 sandwiches, I would just have 4 pieces of bread versus 3. I don't know. It seems wrong. I like the...
I'd say just give it a try.
Yeah, but I love peanut butter jelly sandwiches. I was a broke single guy. I ate a lot of peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Ate a lot of ramen. Ate a lot of Chef Boyardee. Got married. Have a good job. I still eat all those stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Mainly because I can't cook. But anyway.
Well, that was 15 minutes of food fat boy talk. So
that's what the people are really here for.
So now, anything else before I introduce the main topic again?
No. How do we segue from sandwiches to Superman?
The peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are like a classic American thing. And we know what else is a classic American symbol? Superman.
That's Batman. Sorry.
Actually, it kind of had the inflection of Batman, but it was the Superman song.
Let's go with that. I did it for copyright reasons.
Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn. A movie that got like pushed into production so quickly. It was only 2 years ago that they announced that this was happening, and it's here and done. The start of a new, I don't want to say generation, but a new cinematic universe. We are done with Zack Snyder's doom and gloom, and we're looking at the more bright and optimistic future of James Gunn. A guy totally known for being a bright, optimistic guy with his horrible deaths and scary imagery. So, as I said, I just saw this a couple hours ago. I've tried to avoid any reviews completely until, like, I like to do this, and then on my drive home, I like listen to other people's opinions and go, damn it, that's a good point. Why didn't I bring that up? Oh shit, I forgot about that too. I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Is this a great movie? No. Is it a good movie? Yeah. Is it fun? Hell yeah. I had a blast watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has its issues. Some things work more than others, but I think the good outweigh the bad tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with a second rewatch or a couple years down the line, once we flesh out this universe more, looking back at this Superman, like, wow, this really was so much better than I gave it
Superman
credit
walked,
for.
so Superman 2 could fly.
Sure, or any of the other things that they have planned. So I'm giving it a B plus because I had a really good time, and compared to almost all of the DC EU, it's leaps and bounds better than what we had come before.
Was that on purpose? The
Yes,
leaps and bounds?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've been struggling with what I think about this movie, because, like you said, there's some stuff that I like, and some stuff that, it's not that I necessarily disliked it, but just like, I don't think this was the right place for it,
Mm-hmm.
or it didn't quite work. But, so I'm pretty much in agreement with you that, like, I don't think this is a great movie, but I did enjoy myself for the most part. The good does outweigh the bad. But I just don't think... I don't know. James Gunn has made so many movies. I'm going to give this movie it's between a B minus and a B. I'll go B,
Okay.
which is just our standard sort of like, yeah, it's fine. B is
Even though B is like, that's good.
Yeah.
C is, it's a perfectly fine movie. B is a good movie.
Yeah. James Gunn is, like, my whole thing with James Gunn is when I go to his movies now, I think, okay, what's the moment that's going to, like, hit hard and make me feel something? Because, I saw Slither, but I think I might have been a little drunk when I saw Slither, so I don't really remember it.
Okay.
I remember liking Super. I've seen all the Guardians movies. I watched Peacemaker. What else? Is there something else?
I mean, like, he's done stuff for Trauma.
But that's all his major
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, he wrote the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead movie.
Yeah. Okay, we're not counting, but there's stuff that he's, like, directed. But Guardians of the Galaxy, like, that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Guardians 1, makes us cry when we are Groot. Guardians 2 makes us cry when Yondu sacrifices himself. Guardians 3 makes us cry when, you see Rocket's backstory. Like, he's so good at these, group, this, like, ensemble cast, and also not only giving us fun visuals and action, but also, like, pulling at our heartstrings. And there's moments in this movie that, like, I'm just like, oh, you're right there, and then they just don't land, or they're not given enough time to simmer, or they're undercut with a joke. And it's such a shame, because I was like, oh man, this is like, I thought this was the movie where you would, like, hit home. This is like the hopeful one. This is the movie that, in a time where everything kind of fucking sucks, like, Superman's gonna come in and not necessarily save us all, but, like, give us something to look forward to, and, make us just cry just from, like, the idea of, like, we can be good, or something like that.
I think it does all that, and I think what you are expecting is a big emotional sacrifice or death that usually happens, because I think he is hopeful, and he does all those things. You're not going to cry because of that. No Superman movie is going to make you cry because of how good he is. I
disagree.
For James Gunn, we like you watch Super and you have Elliot Page get her fucking face blown off because she's so happy to do the thing and be a hero, and then boom, dead, tragic. And I don't think that really has a place in this movie. And everything Superman does is, but like, I don't get what you're saying is, like, you're expecting this emotional B.
Here's my thing. Okay. So let's go over some of the emotional stuff that I think, like, that tried to work but didn't quite. So we have the one guy who Lex Luthor shoots in the head, like, when he's talking to Superman. That's a character who I looked at and, like, well, why do I care about that guy? Like, I understand why Superman cares about it, because he cares about all human life. Here's a guy who helped him pull him out of that crater, but I feel like, well, that's a character we should have seen Superman like the opening of the movie should have been him like saving that guy and then coming back later. And not that he needs to have like this whole arc or anything like that, but like, oh, have a scene where Superman's like, oh, Superman, thanks for saving me. Here's a hot dog, and they just enjoy like a small moment together, and like, and they just
we
really
don't have time for that.
really bonded.
We don't
have time with it because there was so much other crap that there was.
And we get all the information we need to know what you want to see in the scene that we saw him. They explain it. Hey, I got you food the time. Yeah, thanks, bud. And he memorizes his name.
Yeah, it's so fast. So when he's killed, it didn't mean anything. Like you really could have pulled any. It felt like you could have pulled any human and just like, oh no, don't do that. And then they like give him his own little like in the paper like the city remembers whatever his name was. But it's like I wish I knew that character a little bit other than the one like 30 seconds he was on screen. And then
unless it's Jimmy Olsen, I don't think you have time to do that to a character.
I think there is, but we'll get to that later. You have, I think the scene that works the best is when he goes back home to his parents, and he's on the porch with his dad, and his dad is just like, I couldn't be more proud of you, and his like voice is trembling, and I was like, that's really effective, but it's also like we don't really know these two people that well either. It's like, I'm not saying we need to see his backstory, we need to see them raise him, but what I like about when I'm watching Superman stuff is like, especially considering, I think you could compare this movie more towards like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man than like Marvel movies.
Sure.
Like you got time with Peter and Spider-Man, where you get Clark for one scene. Like, even when he's with his parents in this movie, he is Superman.
Because he's not wearing the glasses.
Because he's not wearing the glasses, and he's just, like, recovering. He's not,
He's not hiding himself.
He's not hiding himself. He's Superman just in regular clothes or whatever. And that's the only scene that also, like, doesn't end with a joke. You have the scene where he's like, I'm going to turn myself in with Lois, but there's a whole, like, that scene's not quite working for me. Like, visually it's fun because you see the neon ghost monster in the background, but it's also just like there's a joke going on in the background during this emotional scene. So I didn't really care about that.
You found that to be a joke?
It's kind of played as a joke. It's like it's played as a joke, and then they ignore it because they're doing the like emotional scene. But it's not like I'm watching these two people like struggling with, being Superman and turning myself in. There's like Green Lantern with a wiffle ball bat like hitting this monster.
Sure.
It's not like it's funny, but it just seems it's distracting, and I didn't care for that.
I took that as just Superman knowing his friend's capabilities and knowing when he
which
could
I appreciate, which gives
step in.
Because obviously Superman has to take breaks. He's got to work his 9 to 5, and like people are dying when he's doing his 9 to 5. So I can appreciate that. I just wish like he just hit it's like, oh yeah, don't worry about that, and then he like hits a switch, and then the crits come down.
Okay,
but visually I get it. And then
I like just since we're on that scene, I like that scene is nothing because it's in the first promo pic we see of Superman in his suit. And you just have this weird thing going on in the background. Everyone's speculating, oh, is it Brainiac? It's got that purple and green. That's a Lex Luthor color.
Just another day Metropolis.
And it's nothing. And I love that. Interdimensional imp. Who cares?
His speech at the end about like, I am human, good, but I wish that hit a little bit harder.
I was distracted from the sun constantly popping from behind his head.
It's J.J. Abrams' lens flare over here.
Every Superman movie has backlit Superman with sun just shining, and it was distracting.
Lex's speech at the end I thought was really good, but then undercut with Crypto coming in. I want to say, might be a controversial opinion, didn't care for Crypto at all in this movie.
I agree. He's a bad dog.
I think I have a lot of cuts I want to make, but we'll get to that at the end. And then that would leave room for like emotional beats. My favorite emotional beat, I think, not the best one, but like at the end, it's like, hey, put the video of my parents on. It's a callback to the beginning. It makes me feel soothing. And then it's just video of like him growing up with
a mom and pa
cat. And I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
This should have been the moment that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But the music choice, I thought was like,
There's some weird music choices.
And I just wish like, this would, I think, work way more effectively if we spent more time with Mom, Pa, Kent.
Yeah.
Because all we got is like one phone call while he was like at the Daily Planet, and then when he goes to visit them for 3 minutes of the movie, and then he's back to being Superman. It's like, I've seen interpretations of the Kents and how important they are to Superman and who he is, but I don't know these two.
Yeah.
And so like them being on those like on the warp screens or whatever around him, it's like I get why that works character wise, but structurally in the movie, it's like I really wish this hit harder. It's like all this stuff that James Gunn does well that works, but it's like you've done better than this.
Okay.
So that's my thing. I wanted those all those moments to hit a little bit harder, and I think they all kind of just fell a little flat for me. Anyway, you
Okay.
go on things.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Superman himself, David Cornsweet, a man who I knew, seeing him in Pearl. I was like, that guy looks like Henry Cavill, like his little brother. He'd make a good Superman. And then I wished it into existence, I guess.
It's all thanks to you, Ben.
You're welcome. I think he's a fucking great Superman.
I agree.
I think he does a spectacular job both as Clark and Superman. I think he's funny. He's charming. He has enough range where he can get angry and it doesn't seem as like scary, mean, or bleak as Man of Steel. I think he was the perfect pick.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I really I liked him a lot. I would say like maybe there wasn't enough of him as Clark Kent for me to go like he's a great Clark Kent, but you could argue that he's Clark Kent even as Superman.
Yeah.
But I had zero problem with his performance in this. I liked him throughout. Rachel Brosnahan, I'm a big fan of because I think Marvelous Miss Maisel is one of the best shows of the past decade. I think she's great. I think she's really good Lois, and you know she's doing her Lois thing, and that's great. But I think she's kind of overshadowed by like a lot of other players. But that's not necessarily because she's bad. It's just like you're competing with superheroes who like have a lot of like scene stealing moments. It's kind of their thing. Yeah. But I think she works, and I like their dynamic, and I like that she already knows that we don't have to deal with the
we don't have to deal with any of that.
It's just they're already into it.
Yeah.
But like they're him saying I love you, and she's like I don't know about this. Like it's like well I haven't seen any of their relationship other than this one scene where they kind of argued. It's just like everything's just like we throw you in and work out
from the jump. It's like 3 minutes ago this thing happened and Superman's been Superman for 3 years or so.
I'm all for that.
And I'm perfectly fine.
It's just should I care so much about their relationship when I haven't really seen any of it? That's my thing.
Like, did you need like 2 minutes of them being cutesy flirty before they got into the interview?
Maybe and they started?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying like it's fine.
Yeah. I definitely like her better than Amy Adams. Amy Adams is a great actress, but they had so little chemistry in all the Justice Leagues and whatever. And she seemed to have nothing to do in those movies. They're like, I'm investigating these weird bullets that are going to frame Superman. Like all the stuff that she did in Man of Steel and BVS is just boring and pointless.
I mean, if you asked me 30 seconds ago, Steve, who was Lois Lane in Man of Steel movies? I'd be like,
ooh, who was
I forgot.
Yeah. And Rachel Brosnahan, just I think she's not as goofy as like Margot Kidder, but she's a good modern Lois. I really like their chemistry. I think they were just like perfect picks for this. I think the real star. I mean, I love Superman in this, but I think the real star is Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor.
Nicholas Hoult is by far the best part of this movie. He is fantastic in this. The whole time I'm watching this movie, I was like, God damn it, Nicholas Hoult is fucking good.
He just is such a petty little bitch. Like he's just like the biggest hater in the world, and his smug fucking face. You hate him so good. He's great in this role.
Like he's sinister and a douchebag and petty, and it just seems like of all the sort of villains we've seen, because we've seen a ton throughout the years, it seems like this guy is a real person, but not, and especially in this like super comic booky movie, like doesn't seem like silly or like over the top. Like he's using over-the-top technology and like going through warp holes that he's built to pocket dimensions. But it just seems like a dude who's just like singularly focused on like, I fucking hate this dude.
Yeah.
And these are the reasons why. And I just thought his performance blew me the fuck away. I think he's a fantastic Lex Luthor.
And I'm glad they didn't shy away from him being like, yeah, I'm envious of you. Like, this is what is fueling my whole agenda is not like this. I hate him because he's bad for the world or bad for business. Like, no, I just like, I want to be you and I don't get to be you. So fuck you. I'm going to undo you. Yeah, he's great. And I like that he shot that dude. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of bad guys, they would talk a big game, but
Or
they would
get
never
a henchman to do it.
yeah, but you would never see them get their hands dirty in some movies. Like in a Marvel movie, if a big alien guy kills another alien guy, who cares? But you wouldn't see, I don't know. Who's a good example? Oh, they're all big weird guys. I was gonna say Obadiah Stane like shoot Pepper Potts in the face or something. Like, you're not gonna see that.
Yeah. Some other stuff. So performances, I liked.
Yeah.
There's a few shots in this where I really enjoyed, like, after he saves that woman after the building's falling and he like comes through the dust, and I mean it's another one of like
Iconic.
I know it's one of those shots where like the sun's behind him again and stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm like, God damn, like
Yeah.
it's the first time in the whole movie I was like,
Ooh.
this is fucking Superman
Yeah,
right here.
that's
like,
good. I think you
love that shot.
You changed the music. That could be a really scary, ominous,
oh yeah,
Brightburn Homelander thing. That could have been scary.
But you just put in that John Williams score. You're like, this guy's gonna save us all.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's talk about the Justice Gang and some other side characters. Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, scene stealer,
Perfect.
loved him, fantastic, did nothing wrong. I'm not going to pronounce his name, but Mr. Terrific got more screen time than I thought he was going to do, but really, got
Gathidi, something like
that. Yeah, Darwin from X-Men First Class.
Yeah,
he was really sweet. Enjoyed him. His little action beat was fun, but it's just the arrow thing that from Yondu had all over again.
Yeah.
So it's
also
it's such a James Gunn thing.
Set to a weird poppy song.
Yeah, it was okay. It's just like it's the greatest hits. We've been here before. Isabella Merced, who I would imagine we're all new fans of.
Yeah.
Hawk Girl, she looked cool, but definitely given like the least to do.
Sure. I do like her scream though. That was like funny, but kind of terrifying. And I love that she got to kill one of the big bads.
Oh yeah, just
dropped him,
committed murder.
I'm not Superman. Bye. And then she got to smack that kaiju in the eyeball. That's James Gunn with fucking giant eyeballs.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask about her, because in the comics and in Justice League the cartoon, she's from Thanagarian. She's Thanagarian from Thanagar. She's a race of people. Hawk people, they have their wings. But
are they from another planet? Are they from Earth?
They're from another planet. Okay. Because that was one of the whole arcs of Justice League was she was a secret spy.
Other planets.
I know. That's
so weird.
You look at Star Trek and it's like, well, everybody's kind of humanoid, but they got a little bump on their forehead, and then they're another creature. But when they were in their Justice Hall and they're just hanging out, her wings aren't there. She doesn't wear them. They're part of her body. It's do they suck into her body? I wonder if they're going to change her to be a metahuman instead of an alien.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
Because either they grow out or maybe did we see her back? Was she always facing the camera? And that was kind of their workaround of just you can't see it because they're tucked in really well.
No, they're way too big to be tucked. But I know she did that in the cartoon. She would put a trench coat on, but you could still kind of see something was there. But no, she wasn't. She just didn't have wings in those scenes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder what they're doing, or if it's just one of those shut up. Who cares? Yeah, they retracted. Whatever, they can do that.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
And her name's Hawk Girl, and I was talking to my roommate about it, and I'm just Hawk Girl, Hawk Girl. I'm like, what hot girl? I'm like, no, Hawk Girl, not Hawk Girl. Yeah, it's he's which hot girl? There's pretty girls in the whole thing. Okay, yeah, I guess maybe it's my accent or whatever, but hot girl. I'm okay, what am I saying? Hot girl.
I mean, if we didn't start this podcast knowing we were going to talk about Superman, and you were just Steven, what am I saying? And you said it, I'd be hot girl? Because why would you be saying hawk girl?
Sure, yeah.
So out of context, I would say hot girl, but in context, I know exactly what you're saying, but what else would it be? But anyway.
Anyhow, all right. Next character.
Metamorpho, dude from Barry. Always fun to see that actor.
Mm-hmm.
Fun power. given a small mini thing with his son.
Which I didn't. That's the thing I didn't love.
Yeah.
Him flowing through the river, keeping the
Cut
sun.
that scene. That's another one of my cuts.
And
we
then
didn't need this.
The black hole, which I know comes back later, but like he's flying and can't escape this black hole. But his super breath has enough power to push him out of the black hole?
Well, no, because he's in the stuff. He's not flying. He's in the stuff that he can't get out of. And then he uses...
No, because I think he's stuck in the air and Metamorpho's like grabbing him, trying to pull him back. And he's,
Well, I thought Metamorpho was kind of like being a kite, that he was using his breath. But no, that would just push them forward.
No, yeah. So
it's stupid. Cut that whole sequence.
I didn't like that at all.
I mean, I liked the pocket dimension. Sure. I did not like that sequence.
Sure. We'll get to the pocket dimension. I have some things about that. But I think of all the special effects, Metamorpho looked the worst. When he's just like a head with tentacles.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think when like his hands turned into kryptonite, looked great.
Yeah.
But when he's doing his when he's fighting other people, it got real.
Didn't look great.
Didn't look perfect.
Yeah. But Anthony Kerrigan, is that his name?
Sure.
No Hank.
Yeah, and I liked him joining the Justice Gang at the end, especially the little joke of just, obviously Hawkgirl hated Justice Gang, and he's just like, I kind of like it, and the dude's just like, all right, you're in.
You're in, yeah.
So that was fun.
And I'm glad to see him come back, because normally he's like a villain, I think.
I mean, he looks like a villain.
Yeah, I hate his design, because he's like split right down the middle, like white head, purple on one side, orange on the other. And every time I saw an action figure or anything, Metamorpho just looked ridiculous. I was never a big fan, but I think it works enough.
Yeah. But once again, that's a character who, like, if you didn't have the stuff with the kid, like, it's kind of just, why are you here?
And like, you could cut out so much of it if like Lex just had the last of the kryptonite.
Yeah, it just seems like we're throwing as many characters as we can in. Here's a reason to have this character here, but we don't want him to be a villain. Well, we got to give him some like reason to help Superman to help him. And here's a kid, and like the kid it looked like the Minecraft like green things.
The chicken jockey.
Yeah, they look like the chicken jockey thing.
Yeah.
Like, this baby looks stupid as shit.
And then you see the mom later, and she's just some white lady. They're like watching TV together, and like, why is the baby green? Like,
I mean, I'm not questioning that because it's.
I mean, he's a weird metamorphosis man.
Yeah, it's a weird metamorphosis man, but yeah, I was surprised. I mean, assuming that's the mom or that's just some lady who like let this alien hang out with him, but I guess it has to be that.
I would assume it has to be the
There
mom.
was that one shot. I was like, that's fucking weird.
That was very weird.
But who cares?
Yeah.
Like if they see, like that's the kind of thing that would be the tag at the end instead of the thing that happened where Metamorpho just like, honey, I'm home, and then here's this cameo from Zoe Saldana or something like that.
And you expect another weird creature thing because the baby's weird. And then, nope, just a lady.
Just a lady. He's just like, this Jake's fine.
Yeah. Another thing, like, I think they changed some stuff with Metamorpho. He was always able to, like, use the elements, but it had to be something, like, within the human body. Like, we have iron in us, so he's able to reproduce iron. He wouldn't be able to do kryptonite or a sun, which I thought was a little weird, but whatever. They
change powers all the time.
Yeah, it's a completely unnecessary scene and feels kind of shoehorned in when it could have been resolved in a different way, but whatever. Minor complaint.
Yeah. Let's see.
The engineer. Scary.
Scary. Fun power use of nanobots. Yeah, nanobots have been around forever. I'm kind of tired of them, but she was cool-ish. I don't know her like deal in the comics or anything like that. If they like got her right, if it was originally a man or whatever.
No, it's a woman, but it was always so like kind of very silvery looking and not so bumpy. Yeah, like it was more like she was a liquid silver surfer.
Yeah. Okay. But she was fine.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to the action, but when Superman has her by, like, the ankle and he's spinning around and using her as a weapon against Ultraman, that may be, like, one of my favorite shots of it. It was just, it just kept going. It was great.
There's Ultraman, who, like, I'm not deep on Superman lore. So I was like, I don't know who Ultraman is. And then when the mask came off, I was like, oh, it's going to be
Bizarro.
Or somebody, like, or a cameo from some other actor. I didn't realize... Oh, no, Ultraman has always been a clone of Superman. And I was like, oh, Okay, well, I should have known it was going to be David Cornsweet under there.
Yeah, I
didn't know anything about Ultraman.
I didn't know who Ultraman was, but after time went on and they were fighting, I was like, oh, are we going to see his face? Why haven't we seen his face so far? Oh, it's a clone.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's going to be Bizarro Superman because that's how he's easy to control because he's such a dumbass and he's going to be kind of misformed, different color. Like, nah, he's just got long hair. That's it.
So that was fine.
But I like the hammer of
Baravia.
I like that look at this weird juggernaut sort of guy more than the Ultraman look. Ultraman looked just kind of boring. He looked just like a boring henchman like all the other Lex bots or whatever he called them. Yeah, the hammer of Baravia was fucking cool.
Yeah, agreed. I'm glad we didn't spend too much time with him, though, because it's just like, it's Iron Man adjacent. We don't need another Iron Man. Let's get some whatever. But the last character...
No, we got the whole Daily Planet.
Well, no. I was going to say, the last bit of characters I want to talk about is the Daily Planet gang.
Okay, you're going to do them as a group. Okay.
Jimmy Olsen. Fantastic. Perfect. Like him. Like that actor. Been in a bunch of stuff. He's fun. Definitely.
Why is he a ladies' man? I've never known that to be a Jimmy Olsen thing.
Yep. Well, here's my thing. I think it's a good bit. I think it's a mislead for future movies when it's revealed that he's gay. Because I think based on his performance with her, it's like it never really seemed like he was into her. It's like, why wouldn't he be into this like gorgeous mom? Like obviously she's dumb, but and annoying, but I think it's more Lois kind of says like, oh, Jimmy, like how are you like this good with the ladies? It's like, well, he's this good. He enjoys being around ladies, but that's because he doesn't have to like worry about impressing them. Because really, he's into dudes.
Okay.
But I think they went like, well, we don't want to do a gay character. If this is the start of our franchise, let's get everybody in, and then like down the road we'll reveal that Jimmy's gay. That's my theory.
That makes sense.
And so Jimmy, great, love him, works well with Rachel Brosnahan.
When they introduce him, and those two girls are just like, tee, he's so hot, and he's sitting there like, hey, I thought like he would go up to try to talk to him, and they would be talking about Clark, and he would be all like, oh, and then see. Jimmy's a big dork. He doesn't get the girls. That's what I thought they were setting up. I was like, no, Jimmy's just a ladies' man.
I think those girls weren't looking at him like, oh, he's so sexy. My theory is they were looking at him that just like, oh, we saw him at this bar with his shirt off dancing in the cage or something like that.
You even hear one of them say like, oh, he's so hot.
Oh, I don't remember that part. Oh, okay. Either way. My theory still stands. I think he's gay.
That works.
Or maybe bi. Who knows? So then we have Wendell Pierce, Perry White. Love that actor. Wish they gave him more to do.
Sure.
One of the great character actors. Put him in everything. Love him. But underused.
What was he just in that we saw? Wasn't it a different superhero thing?
Ooh.
It was. Oh, what was it? What was it? It was Captain America. Wasn't he in? Wasn't
Captain America?
The new Captain America, the
Brave New World. Oh,
wasn't he in that?
Yeah,
talking to. Oh no, Thunderbolts. It was Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
He was like trying to get Elaine Bennis screwed in court.
Right.
Yeah.
Wendell Pierce, underused, but fine.
But I like that when like Metropolis is about to be destroyed, like him and Lois are still just like, we got a paper to run, we got a story to tell, and he's just sitting there with his stogie.
So he's great.
Beck
Bennett as sports reporter, like
Tommy Lombardo or something like that.
Steve Lombardo.
That's right.
Because one of the favorite bits in the movie is, he's giving Clark shit, and he's like, "Shut up, Steve." And that's as soon as his name dropped, I was like, here we go again. I made it. Yes. But like Beck Bennett, that character's annoying. Cut him.
I've never known of that character.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's I think he's an old character that they've resurrected, because in the animated show My Adventures with Superman, he's in it, and he's a fun character.
I mean, I get like why you have this cast, because this is like down the line you'll see more of these people, but it just feels like there's so many characters you're introducing, it feels heavy.
And then you got
like you don't need him. And then you have the
sexy blonde
Cat Stevens or whatever her name is. Like,
what does she do?
What does she do? Yeah, I don't know. Cut her.
And then when they're on the ship,
there's that one guy,
that black dude. It's like, who are you?
Yeah. Did you even get a name or a line? It's like the whole.
He's like, I'm just the coffee boy. I snuck on the ship.
Yeah, the guy who's like carrying the bags. It's like, why the fuck is he here?
I know.
Like that. Their whole group. I like. Lois and Jimmy are great. Everyone else, like, why the fuck are they there? Oh, well, and Perry. Perry's great.
But I still liked him. Like, I like Beck Bennett enough that I want to see more of him. So.
I do too, but just in the context of the movie, I don't think it's like, it just felt weird that he was there. It felt weird that they were all there except for Jimmy. And like, if they were there in the opening scene and just like, oh, look how alive this station is. And then at the end, when they get to the ship, it's just Perry, Jimmy, and her.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they could have been left in the building. You know, when Superman catches a building and he's pushed up against it, and then he's like, is everybody good? Like, that could have been them. And you have a little bit of stakes up. Oh, we know these are Daily Planet people, but we don't necessarily care about them. I don't know.
Yeah. One last character we didn't talk about. Lex's girlfriend.
Liv? Eve?
I think it's Eve. Cut her.
No, she's crucial.
Yeah, but I think there's an easier way to do like, oh, the only way we got this information was because she was sneaking selfies of like these secret plans, which just to me seemed stupid.
But was she doing it on purpose?
100% on purpose.
You think? Oh, yeah. I thought she was just vapid and just loved taking pictures of herself.
I mean...
and then she just realized,
I mean, that could be it too, sure.
But also, Lex is a smart enough guy.
Lex is smart enough to like...
track her phone.
Or not even that, but just... Like, he's smart enough to... And I guess you could argue that it's just... hubris. It's like, of course this woman wouldn't betray me because she knows if I do, I'd put her in the pocket dimension or whatever. But like, you have all this stuff that you have to keep secret and obviously can't leak. And you have this girl who's just like posting selfies of herself around all these like important stuff. It just seems like it's a little hard to. Okay. I know we need to get from point A to point B, and that's a quick way to do it.
Every time she showed up, she's just kind of a pathetic person who. Like, I feel bad for her because Lex is a piece of shit. All she wants is Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't want her at all. And, like, she just wants love from someone, and she deserves it.
Yeah, just, like, it seemed like she was getting more character development than, like, other characters in this movie. It's like, why her?
Yeah.
But anyway, so enough about characters. The main three, fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been talking a lot of shit. You go. I need a break.
Special effects in action, I think there are some parts where people are zipping around really fast that you could, be forgiving of not everything looking as great as, like, say, the big kaiju or the engineer's manipulation of her blood and stuff. I think all in all, it looked really good. I hate our movie theater because, they don't... Sometimes things are just not quite in focus, and, like, I can deal with a dimmer bulb, but I need fucking focus. I need your picture to be sharp. People are paying a lot of money to watch these movies. Sharpen that shit up. And every time you go and ask, they're like, oh, well, if it's just the previews, it's fine. No, it's not. It's the actual movie. Oh, well, okay, we'll say something. No, you won't. Because you're 14, 15 years old. You're too scared to talk to your manager. And if you do, your manager is too busy counting popcorn tubs and everything. They don't give a fuck about the quality of the actual movie. But I do think it looked really good. Any sort of weird special effects didn't bother me. I do think the pacing is really intense in this movie. It is more powerful than a locomotive. It just goes and goes and goes. And not that I was ever bored, because it doesn't give you a chance to be bored.
Yeah,
it slows down for a minute to have some conversation, and then we're back flying at super speed. But I will say that flying looked fucking great.
Yeah, I agree.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I think... I agree with the pacing, where I was never bored. I think I only looked at my phone once just to be like, how much time we got left? But it was just like, and we still had, I think, like 45 minutes or something like that. I think it's like in the middle section when the pocket dimension comes up, we're like, how much fucking time we got left?
Yeah.
But my thing is just like, there's so much thrown into this movie, and I know it's just like the beginning of this franchise, and it'll all work out in the end, hopefully. but it's like not only here's Superman, here's Superman's friends, here's the Justice Gang, so that's the beginnings of the Justice League. Here's pocket dimensions, and now we're this like global conflict between these two,
not Israel, not Pakistan.
These made up nations.
Yeah.
Here's kaiju monsters. Here's Mr. Terrific and his stuff, and black holes, and all like splitting up the city, and whatever damage that has to like affect our ecosystem in some way.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's comic book stuff. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just like there's just so much, and I appreciate that it is going like we're not going realistic, we're not going gritty, we're throwing all this stuff at you to show like this is the world, this is what we're going for. It's just like big and almost cartoony, and
aliens exist and everyone accepts
like
it.
You don't have to believe any of this stuff because we know it's a little bit silly, but this is the world. So in that regard, I get it and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But because you threw so much at me, I didn't feel like I was connecting with a lot of it. And that was my thing. It's just, I think this movie would have been better if it was simplified and you cut out a bunch of stuff. It might be a kind of like, I would cut Crypto. I mean, he can be there. I think he could be in like the opening scene where he goes back to the thing and just like, hey, buddy, tosses him, throws him a ball, and then you see him fuck off.
Yeah.
And then maybe he comes back at the very end to like, Superman's about to get his head stomped by Ultraman or whatever, and then the dog barks.
I'm
not saying that's what I want. I'm just saying like...
Because if that happened, you would go, oh, so he shows up for 1 second in the beginning and then he comes and saves the day? I don't think so. They should really develop that character more. So I don't think you can...
the character.
I think you do the thing of he's at the Fortress of Solitude. He gets like attacked by the engineer, but he isn't taken or anything, or flies off, and that's it. And he stays there.
Yeah, I think the dog was annoying and not as cute as he could have been, and just I didn't care.
And I even like that Superman just like he's my dog. He's not a very good dog, but he's scared and in trouble. And like, oh, Superman just cares so much, and he cares so much he saves a fucking squirrel.
Well, I like that.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, like there's a huge foot stomping down. There could be people in the subway below being destroyed. Doesn't matter. Got to save that squirrel.
Save that squirrel. I want to get back to that scene later, but anyway, cut Crypto.
I'd say cut the pocket dimension completely.
Cut the pocket dimension. Didn't need it. Or like, if you have the pocket dimension, like, don't have the black hole. Like, metamorpho stuff. Just have like him in a cell with kryptonite in it, and something happens. And something happens where he's able to get out and escape. Or like Lois is the one to come save him. Maybe Mr. Terrific helps, but he doesn't need this whole bit.
Yeah. Since we're on pocket dimension real quick, who was that ferryman? That weird alien thing?
Doesn't matter.
What the fuck was that? Like, okay, the only thing I can think of, it's a white Martian.
Okay.
Because when he he's talking to Superman, and he's like, I don't need some Martian coming to Earth. And he's like, actually, I'm Kryptonian. And then you see this white creature thing, and like, oh, does he have a white Martian captured? They're different looking, but they're white and monstrous. Like, there was never a line of like, all right, Bob, let's get out of here. It's just a thing. It's so weird, and it, like, as someone who's kind of hip to some of this stuff, even I was just taken aback.
Because Lex said, I created this pocket dimension, so like none of this stuff like he wasn't here. You brought him into this thing.
Where did you get him? Well, where did he get the kaiju monster as well?
That's true.
These are comic book things. This is like, and I was talking about like with Ironheart, how sometimes weird things in comic books happen and you just kind of accept it for what it is. This really is like jumping into a random issue. We started this movie where he had already done this. Jumping in and stopping this war, or trying to stop this war, and already had a fight. We're coming in at the aftermath. That's just like a comic book where you're looking, see Superman all bloody in the snow, and there'd be a little annotation saying like, see issue 117 to understand what's going on here. Like, sometimes you're just thrown into it, and weird characters just show up out of nowhere, and sometimes the supervillain just goes, I got a kaiju monster that I can throw out there.
Yeah. But, I mean, see, like, the kaiju monster and the guy on the raft or whatever, like, that stuff doesn't bother me. Like, that's fine. But I do, like, sometimes when I'm reading a comic and it just seems like, oh, here comes this side villain or character from, like, why is he here? It just seems like, oh, we need something to, like, bring the reader in, spice it up by throw you guys a bone. It's like, just cut that person out. I don't need that fucking shit in here. Anywho, I think design-wise, I think the pocket dimension was fun. I like the idea of like Lex has his own like cells that he like sells to governments to like, here's political interests or whatever, we'll put in here. My shitty ex-girlfriends, we'll put them in here. Like, that's all fun stuff. It's just, I think that sequence was a little too long. Didn't need it.
And I'm surprised it wasn't just the Phantom Zone. Like,
sure,
we've had that in Superman stuff before.
And I like I see so many people going like, "Oh man, those monkeys tweeting or whatever. That's so funny." I think that bit was stupid.
Yeah, that didn't bother me. It got a chuckle out of me because that's like the whole thing of monkeys on a typewriter. They eventually write War and
Peace. I get the joke. Didn't do anything.
Okay.
Especially because like there's other people working there. It just seems like Lex has all this tech. Like, he spent millions of dollars to just make monkeys smart enough to like tweet all day.
Yeah.
It just seems silly. It seems like a petty thing maybe he would do.
Yeah,
but also like kind of fucking stupid.
It's one of his things. He's got to take down Superman.
It just seems like he has enough money. He could just hire all these people who are like working the pocket dimension. Just get them to do it.
You're in a world where there would be some sort of AI algorithmic thing that could auto do this.
Yeah. We're just all nitpicking.
Or the engineer, she was hacking the computer that she would just be the person. Like, when she's not fighting, she's doing all these like hate tweets.
Sure. What else do I want to talk about? This movie's fun. Like, the action I think is fun, but nothing. I don't think there was like a ton of like, wow, that's a really good action beat. Like, him doing the spinny laser beam eye, I think is like really fun. I like seeing it. The idea of just like, he just burned him enough to like knock him out of the sky but not kill anybody. I was like, Superman killed some of those people.
Yeah, maybe.
Fuck off. But I think they got Superman right. I think they got Lex right. I really like the kaiju scene of him like saving people as everyone's fighting.
Yeah. Superman saved people in almost every fight.
I think the best stuff is when Superman is just like focused on saving human lives. Yep. And it's great when he's got like some big guy, he's got a punch or whatever, but I think that gets boring relatively quick. I just like him like only caring about people. I wish we saw like one of my favorite bits of the Marvel Spider-Man movies is him, walking down the street and going like, "Oh yeah, it's you're trying to go to this place, it's down that way."
Yeah.
It's just I'd
stopping
like to see
bicycle thieves.
Yeah, I'd like to see Superman just interacting with the community when they defeat the kaiju. All the kids ran to him and he picked them up. Like, that was really nice. I just want Superman to be the symbol of hope for a bunch of people. But the one thing we haven't really talked about is the whole like Baravia Duranpur.
I saw it came up on the screen and I was like, I'm not pronouncing that.
Yeah. I think if this is the story you want to tell, I think you cut a lot of stuff and kind of like make this more of the focus. Like, I think the movie should have opened with him like stopping the war, and you go like, wow, Superman, he's stopping wars. What a great guy. And you have the people cheer for him. It's like the big hopeful thing. Like, you open with this bit. And then and it's like, yeah, Superman is back. Cut to, he comes back home and everyone's like, Superman fucking sucks. And then it's him dealing with this idea of just like, wow, I'm stopping wars and people still hate me. And you have Lex thing, and then in the second big action set piece is then you bring in the armor of Baravia, and then you see Superman lose for the first time, and then like Superman's like all fucked up. He, maybe he goes back home, and maybe that's a little bit too early.
Yeah, you could probably restructure some of these.
I think you restructure some of this stuff, and then you still have like the kaiju thing, and that's when, or maybe even when he's fighting the armor of Baravia, the only reason he's able to like get away is because the Justice Gang comes in and saves him, and then like that's kind of all you see of them, and then. So then he fight, or maybe you do the kaiju monster and see them again. That's great. You don't really talk to them for the rest of the movie, and then. It gets to the end and Superman's fighting Ultraman and these people and he's losing and it's like, oh, how can, like, the war's going on, I can't reach them, like, Superman can't save everybody, and like, maybe he tries calling the Justice League or the Justice Gang earlier and they're like, hey man, we don't get involved with that shit, but then it sees that he, like, can't do it, so they go, and then you just have, like, this moment where it's like, oh, we are the Justice Gang, we are all fighting for, like, human lives and the same stuff, and like, you cut the pocket dimension, you cut all this extra fluff and cut Crypto. There's so much I think you could get rid of and just simplify it and make it a great Superman movie with hints of other stuff, and then you expand as you go instead of just like, hey, we're throwing everything in the pot and we just make it work just enough to where you don't go, this movie sucks. And I think that's where the line is like really, really wiggly. Okay. This is only a loose thought, so obviously you might be listening to this and going like, that sounds like a terrible fucking movie. But I think the bones are here to make a simpler Superman movie that hints at bigger things to come and still gives you this idea of like it's comic booky and fun and bright and it's not dour and all that stuff without it just being so overstuffed with shit that like doesn't amount to a whole lot. But that's me.
Well, let's talk about some cameos. I didn't expect Peacemaker to show up, which is stupid of me.
I did.
I didn't even think that.
I wasn't sure how he was going to
up,
come in, but I was sure.
But never even crossed my mind, so that was nice seeing him.
Shout out Michael Ian Black.
Michael Ian Black showing up. I mean, he does stuff. He does like a news comedy thing, kind of like Daily Show, but actually, I think a little more serious. He's still working.
Him as DC Tucker Carlson, I think is fun.
Yeah, and then we get Supergirl at the end. Drunk frat girl, Supergirl,
which is perfectly enough. You see her for 2 minutes, and I was like, "Cool, I'll see her at the movie."
Yep, she's the next movie to come out, so interesting. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for her.
And like him going, like kind of nodding into the movie, it's just like, "Oh, your dog came with you on the pod." It's like, "No, don't worry about it."
Yeah,
and it's like, "Oh, because it's her dog." So I like that bit. That's why I think like Crypto in the beginning, just hanging out the place, and then Crypto at the end with her. That's it.
Yep. And then Bradley Cooper is Jor-El.
That was fun.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah. I would say like why it's a little distracting that you open the movie with a cameo.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? You're probably never going to see him again, or if you do in some sort of flashback or hologram form, whatever. Like that's kind of fun. Like that works.
And I don't know her name, but she was Clementine.
I've seen her on Westworld.
Yeah. She's the one that kicks off the orgy and that orgy movie.
Good old fashioned
orgy. Good movie. Yeah. That just really took me back. Like I heard no rumblings of him in this.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I didn't realize that the robots were all. So one robot was Alan Tudyk. I think he was 4.
Yeah.
And then there was Palm Clementif was one.
Oh, okay.
And who was another one? Who else was it?
Michael Rooker?
Michael Rooker was one of the robots. Yes, thank you. And then we got, obviously, James Gunn's brother was going to pop up, but he was Maxwell Lord.
Yep. Because they're like, the Justice Gang ran by Maxwell Lord. And like, it's kind of weird that we're going to have Maxwell Lord and Lex Luthor in this, but no, it's 2 seconds on a TV screen, and that's all you see him.
So, because James Gunn is known for, reusing people.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion being the number one.
I think this is like his 8th time working together.
Which what a friend to have.
I know. But his wife wasn't in it. She's a Peacemaker character.
That was my thing. Was like, she's got to be in here somewhere, at least in some sort of voice form.
Sure. Or working with Crossbones, Frank Grillo.
I just wasn't sure like how they could shoehorn her in. And I think it's good that she wasn't, because I just feel like Peacemaker makes sense because Tucker Carlson would get a piece of shit to hop on and talk shit about other superheroes. It'd be Peacemaker. Yeah. It's like, where would this like covert ops secret agent play into a Superman movie?
Okay, so then last things I want to talk about. There's a mid-credit and a post-credit. Kind of both not super important. I think James Gunn is purposely doing not a let's tease the next thing, because that's not what this movie's about, is not set up for the next thing. But I think they put these out of order. The post-credit scene is just a funny little thing with Superman and Mr. Terrific going, oh yeah, we put the continent back together, but it's a little out of place. Tee-hee-hee. Isn't that funny? That's a good mid-credit scene.
Yeah, Superman going, I can be a real jerk sometimes, is a funny idea.
It's a fun thing. And then the post-credit scene of him just on the moon with the dog watching Earth and like reflecting on everything, that's a great, nice, calm, quiet moment to end the movie on.
Yeah. I mean, I think I get why they did that, though, because you could see him looking at Earth and, like, those people who are like, I'm not sticking around for the end credits. That's a nice way to, like, leave. where like if you waited that whole time and it was just an 8-second shot of nothing but the shot, you go like,
Sure.
we waited for that. I mean, people still like behind me went, we waited for that just for
You're
the
not
joke.
going to win no matter what.
There's no pleasing, but I don't think either way is particularly wrong. But I did like that final shot of him and Crypto looking at Earth. There's I don't know if you've ever been on the Superman Reddit.
No.
I don't know if it's necessarily from a comic or this is something that someone just like drew pictures of for Reddit or whatever. But there's a really nice thing where it's most of the comic it's like 8 panels or something like that, and it's just Clark or what's Clark's Kent's name? Dad Kent's name. Sorry.
Oh, Jor-El.
No, Kansas dad.
Pa Kent.
No, what's his first name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan Kent. Thank you. Jesus. Jonathan Kent is just like he's got Clark as a baby and just like I love you, and then it's a little bit older. He's like you're special, and it's like you matter, and it's just this real nice thing of just kind of Jonathan Kent raising him, and then it's like cuts to him as Superman, and he's like holding a kid, and it's like you're special, and then it's like he's saving a woman jumping off a building. It's like you matter, like that kind of stuff. And then the very last panel is just like Clark looking at Earth and saying I love you, and it's just like this really nice, sweet thing.
This is how I was raised and the man I became.
Yeah, it's like it was just very reminiscent of that, and I really liked that. It's just the idea of like Superman loves Earth and humanity and all that stuff. I think like that's the kind of shit I want in this movie. It's just like kind of overshadowed by a lot of this other like comic book malarkey nonsense.
Yeah.
So I talk a lot of shit on this movie, but it is from a place of love, and I do love Superman, and like Batman's my favorite comic book character of all time, and I've never really cared about Superman and his stories, but I've always loved Superman because he's a superhero. Like I think we should all. Like that's the whole thing. We should aspire to be like Superman. He's the best of us. That's why I really enjoyed Chris Evans' portrayal of Captain America because, like, yeah, he doesn't have the best powers, and yeah, he's the Boy Scout, but like he just cares so much and like
doing right is the most important thing.
Like he's the leader for a reason. Superman's the leader for like they're both like the symbols of America and humanity and hope and like cut the American part out of it. Just like just being a good person.
Yeah,
like that's what like every superhero should be. Captain America or Superman. Obviously, that'd be very boring. So you write a bunch of other people. But I think Superman is very important to the comic book world, and I think people who shit on Superman just don't quite get it. And I think I love Superman for that reason. Like, no, we need the Boy Scout to give us something to aspire to. Like, Batman is by far the coolest.
The cool one.
We get it.
Yeah.
But no one should want to be Batman.
Yeah. He's a psychopath.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's gotten money and bangs models. Sure, that's great. But he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But Superman is just
he's the loyal good boy. Yeah.
Like, you might want to be Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's life kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Superman's life, the only thing that really sucks about it is, like, everyone's trying to kick his ass.
He goes through
the struggles of, like, saving the planet on a daily basis.
Sure.
would be hard.
Yeah. I like that. You know, it used to be truth, justice, in the American way. But in the comics recently, like, well, what is the American way? That's kind of been tainted.
The American way isn't so great right now.
Yeah. So now it's truth, justice, and the hope for a better tomorrow. I think just is better anyway.
Yeah. I think there's more we could probably say about the two countries or whatever.
Sure.
Not like in a political sense, but just in terms of just like I think that's an interesting story, and I like that they kind of went this way of just like
could have been structured maybe a little different.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I think that's what this movie should have leaned more into. I know it's like a big chunk of it, and Luther trying to like start Lutherania or whatever was the name of it. It had its own name. It's like Lithonia or something like that.
Yeah.
But you know, I like the idea of here's this guy who has the power to stop wars, like Dr. Manhattan style. I think Watchmen. Like, they kind of breezed over it, but it, like, made them a little bit more sense, because that book was very political, where Superman has never really been too political. But in this world of just, like, what happens when a person can, like, stop wars, but it's, like, it's not approved, but he's not sanctioned by anybody, like...
Who gave him the authority besides the ability?
Like, there is a discussion there that I don't think is talked about a lot. Usually it's just, like, superhero saves the day, okay, we're all happy. It's always, like, black and white. It's like, well, there is bigger things to deal with on this scale, which, you know, Marvel kind of tackled with Civil War stuff, and like that all made sense. But once again, that was kind of just like, well, once we all fought each other and stopped Baron Zemo, it's like, okay, you guys can fuck off and do whatever you want. Like, there's no like real aftermath to it. But I think it was a fun idea. Just anyway, I'm done blabbing. Who fucking cares what I have to say? Superman B, just because I like him.
All right. Next week, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Smurfs and Eddington. I'm not sure if Eddington will come to us. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Smurfs was the worst trailer I've seen this year.
I haven't seen any of the Smurfs, so I'm not watching more Smurfs.
Yeah.
And, I'll see I Know What You Did Last Summer, even though it looks like shit.
Yep.
So, kind of a weird in-between week until Fantastic Four comes out, so
maybe
we'll just
I'll
have to
finally get around to watching Psycho Gorman. Let's talk about that.
Cool. All right, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.